Morning, everybody. I got my bed made today, so now you guys don't have to look at a messy bed. After reviewing my videos, I noticed that a lot of times my bed wasn't made, so anyway. We're doing discussion form 5, and we're talking about the best teacher we ever had. I can't think of my teachers from kindergarten to 5th grade. Or I guess middle school even. I can think of a few, but there was a teacher in high school, and his name was Mr. Jones. And I did not like him at first because he was a little, in my opinion, strict and brash with me. And that bothered me because I was a good student, but I kind of liked to make jokes and stuff, and he didn't like that at all. So it was hard. Our personalities clashed at first, but after a period of time, I realized that he genuinely cared about each of his students. He cared about our well-being. He cared about our successes. So as we developed that relationship, I actually learned more in his class than any other class combined. And he didn't favor me. He didn't, get off my back. But he stayed on me, and I think that's what made it successful for me. And it taught me that sometimes discipline can be good. So I was reading chapter 5, and so on page 151, it talks about interacting with children. And it's important to have that good balance between being nurturing and caring, but also being able to manage your classroom. So you can be a nurturer and a carer as a teacher, but also say, well, these are the rules and you still need to follow them. And one particular situation with him was I was going through some things at home, and I was kind of having difficulty relating to students in my classroom, and I was, arguing and bickering, and he pulled me to the side after class one day and said, well, what's going on? This isn't like you. This isn't your personality. And I was able to tell him what was going on, and it was, with my grandpa being sick and different things, and it was causing me to act out. And he recognized that. He was able to see, okay, this is not a behavior of hers and something's wrong. And he was able to talk me through it. And that is important as an educator, that you're able to know when something's off and able to relate and nurture. But he didn't change the rules for me. He didn't say, well, because you're going through this, let me go easy on you. No, he still had expectations of me. And as I also was reading through chapter 5, it talks about setting the tone in your classroom. On page 153 of our textbook, it talks about setting the tone and making sure that you're consistent with the things you say and do in your classroom, because that's the important, part is that when children come into your classroom, whether you're in kindergarten or you're in, 12th grade, that they know that this is how my classroom is going to be ran, and I do care about you, and I do care about your future and your successes, and I'll work you through your failures. However, we're still going to abide by these rules. This is the tone of my classroom. And that is not easy to do. I'm doing observations right now in another class, and I'm finding it difficult to watch sometimes. Certain teachers, they have a really good classroom management style. And then other teachers, they yell all the time, or they, threaten. And I find that the teachers that threaten and yell all the time, they're not getting their point across. Their tone is, let me just do whatever I want to do and just deal with threats and stuff. Whereas the other teachers who I feel have better classroom management skills, they're able to work through the problems with the students, and their expectations aren't any higher than the other teachers' expectations. They just have a different way of facilitating those. So those are my thoughts on this chapter, and thank you for watching.